All right, hey there. Good morning, everybody. It's a few minutes after 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Here on Tuesday, the 4th of January, 2022. We've kind of made it in this new year, guys. I hope y'all are doing all right. As always, patience, waiting for confirmations, taking higher confidence trade versus trading, versus jumping in just because there's a chance. These things will all help you be better traders, have better results. But hopefully you guys have been listening and taking care of that. It's been kind of a crazy, man. I don't know about you guys. I don't know, man. I'm getting worn out with COVID, man. It's been a heck of a past couple of years now, hasn't it? Anyway, coming at you from a very nice sunny morning here in Boerne, Texas. I'm Christopher Inks with Texas West Capital. Sorry, guys. I just got a call. My dad, my dad lives over in Arizona, and him and my stepmom both got COVID this weekend. And they're older. They got health problems, especially her. And so we'll see how things go there. They've both been shot and boosted twice. So we'll see how this goes. But anyway, just got that call just a minute ago. Anyway, hopefully y'all are doing all right there. Hey there, Oscar. Good to see you. Daniel. Who else is here? Nevlusian, Hadar, Crypto Mowgli, Data, ARM. Good to see you guys. Hope your holidays was good. If you guys would like to join us, you can do so here at howtotradetowin.com. We'd love to have you there. I have not updated this yet because we've got the new site we're getting ready to roll out finally. But well over 150 hours of educational video content, 3 live streams every week for Tier 3. One is about Wyckoff, the second is about Elliott Wave, and the third one is just rules-based strategies, tips, tricks, and techniques. So this is all exclusive to Tier 3, as well as chart requests and hot takes, which are good potential setups, in stock market and crypto and whatnot, and just so much more. Anyway, we'd love to have you there. Let me see here. Hey there, Blaze Pastel. Good to see you, man. You agree about this whole COVID thing? Yeah. Says I've been worn out with it since it started. My mother just got over it this weekend. Well, man, I'm glad to hear that she got over it, though. It's been, it's just not been too good to our family. As many of y'all know, my brother-in-law passed away right before the summer there due to COVID complications. He was in the hospital from February until right there, just about June. So lost his battle with that. And then, of course, I had a real good friend of mine who passed away as well in November of 2020 there. So, yeah, it's it's just worn out with it, man. Just trying to deal with it, so much. And it's not even just that. It's government and everybody else out there, and people forget to just be kind, That's a real big pet peeve of mine, is just to be kind. So I appreciate you. Is that Chaz Tiger 13 there, man? Thank you, sir. Petri, what's going on? I appreciate you, Crypto Mowgli, as well. Hunter, you guys are great. Good to see you, Tell You Rider, checking in. Sorry, guys. I know I'm not as chipper as I usually am. Wasn't expecting that call this morning. Hey there, 83 Madden. What's up, man? Good to see you here. So here's where we are with Bitcoin, guys. We've got this diamond pattern printing out here, right? And so, man, price came down really close to that swing low there, that support, but didn't break down. And so, we just had it recently here with this wave 2, as close to pretty close to this wave 2 swing low here. And then we potentially have a 1 and a 2 here as well. What we're looking for is a breakout above this diamond pattern resistance here. What we really need, guys, I'm going to be straight up with you here. We really need to see an impulsive breakout above this 1 and 4 hour pivot right here. It needs to, again, that means expanding volume, larger candle spreads. We want to see that coming through this pivot. If we can do that, that's a pretty good clue that the bottom's in here. But it's not confirmed until we break out above wave B up here at 52,100. But locally here, if we zoom in a bit, let's go right here. There we go. And so we have what amounts to maybe a 1, 2, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then ABC, ABC, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like this was just a really low, flat correction here with a really low pullback for wave 2. And now we've got this rallying up through here. On the positive side, we've got this impulsive breakout here above, and taking off here of this pivot. So put up to the pivot, pull back a little bit further, pull back further. And so we're printing higher lows and higher highs coming off this. Broke out, hit this resistance up here, pull back. This is what we would expect. And so now we want to see, can we get this rally back up there higher? This gives us a minimum expected local target here. If this is a 1-2, then it'll give us a 5 up here at 50,398, basically 50,400 area. With this 1-2 right here, we have a minimum wave 3 up here at 55,301. So I mean, there's a lot of possibility in this, but minimally, we need this breakout above this diamond pattern resistance, preferably an impulsive breakout above the 1 and 4 hour pivot here. But then it confirms on the breakout above wave B up here, 52,100, that bottom may be in there. So if it continues down lower, I'm assuming maybe like a, again, this is what I've been telling Discord. I think I told you guys last week. But if this is a 1 here, then, and this breaks down below this wave circle 2 here, which is, pretty close to where these lows are over here, that would just say ABC down, ABC up, and then, 5 down here for wave C. And I think that would be like maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of ending diagonal type thing that targets this S1 pivot here on the 1 and 4 hour there, right around 54,592. But right now it's looking pretty decent. It looks like it wants to go up there, but I'm definitely interested in seeing that breakout here and then that follow through with the breakout, impulsive breakout there above the pivot. Hey there, Travis Watson checking in from northern New Mexico. Man, you got snow then, don't you? I've got some friends who are practicing law up there in Cloudcroft and that kind of area up there from law school, and they've got shown some pretty pictures, some snow up there. Telluride says, seems like steadily decreasing sell volume. Are you talking about this right here? Yeah, overall, I mean, through this range right here, we have the volume dropping off as this range develops. And then, we've kind of got this right here up at the top. So you've got these 3 candles right here. So this one and then these 2 up here near the top with a lot of volume coming in. And then more volume still trying to be, in that last one, but it's about half. But nonetheless, you've got a pickup in volume in here. So you just want to see it find support in this area and rally on back through. You don't want to see it follow through down lower because that volume is coming here at this top area. So you want to see price continue up through that, which just would then tell us, even though you had all this supply coming in here, demand was still a lot stronger and was serious about moving up. If we have follow through lower down here, that could see us again coming on down to the S1 pivot. So that's what I'm looking at with that there. Let's see here. What do I think about this being a wave 1 and we're going up for wave 2 now before going down for 3, 4, and 5? Let's see here. I'm not sure where you'd look at where you're thinking wave 1 is. Because, we've got this, here's the swing low over here. Are you thinking maybe this is 1 and this is maybe 2? Or are you talking about locally here? If you're talking about locally here, again, this would have to be an ABC up here. And I mean, right now, if this were to be an ABC up, then, this is already an ABC down. So on the daily, okay, yeah. So I mean, if right here, I think if we break down below this wave circle 2 here, we kind of continue to look at this as possibly a flat correction until it breaks down below the swing low here. Let me see here on the daily. What are you talking about on the daily? Are you talking about this being a wave 1? And then this being a wave 2 here? But this being a wave 1 and we're going for wave 2. Now, I guess that's what you're talking about, right? Well, if this is a wave one and this could be a wave two, again, you have to reconcile what's going on here. And, I've talked about that a few times over the past few weeks. You have to make a lot of... So when you're talking about Elliott wave, usually it's the simplest count that is correct, right? A lot of times we get in there and we start getting really, really complex, trying to make it fit what we think should happen. And that usually ends up losing us money. So for this to be a top here, this has to be an ABC here. And if this is going to be an ABC, it's probably a WXY, but then it's a truncated Y here. And so you're starting to get more and more complex then. And then you have to make 5 waves out of this, as you do that. And then this has to be 5 waves down rather than 3. And so it starts getting really, really complex, again, with the truncated wave here would have to be an ABC down or a WXY. This has to be truncated. And truncations I'm not a big fan of truncations. I think for the most part, 99.9% of them probably are not really truncations. They're just, if you go back and recount it, you can count it a better way that comes out better. A truncation is a rare event. And so this would have to be in order to do that. But we can clearly get 5 down. I mean, we can clearly get the count up here, and do a flat right here. And that gives us, ABC down, ABC up, and then 5 down here, moving back up. And that's just such an easier count than trying to, truncate it here and then get 5 waves up here and then, 5 waves down here and doing those kind of things. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of that potentially being a 1-2. I think if it's going to look at something like that, we've definitely got to get below this swing low before we really even start considering something like that, I think. If we just look sideways here, again, as I've pointed out, we've got this drop right into this, again, we've got this area of support here. We've got this area here. And then we've got this area between it, of which we've got this sitting right on top of this swing. And that's what we hit and rallied right back up out of. A lot of demand in that area. So, this is still pretty significant in this and that rally up from it. So we just need some follow through coming with it. So, yeah. The diamond pattern. Let's see here. Let's go back to that 1 hour there. This diamond pattern could be a possible running triangle. Now we get a 1, 2, 3, 4 is a triangle, 5. That would just give us 5 down. You can't have a triangle as a wave 2. So this would have to be a wave 4 to be a triangle. I think you were looking at maybe A, B, C, D, E kind of thing. Yeah, that would have to be a wave 4. And I'm not so sure that we can get that this would be a 1-2 here. Maybe this is a 1-2 and this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I don't know. Let me see. Does that 3 get too low? We're not low enough. Let's see. If let me see right here. So wave. Let's see. That's a 1-2 there. So wave 1 is bigger. Let's see. See, now that couldn't be a 3. This couldn't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because wave 3 would be the shortest. So I don't think you get that as a running triangle there. Because like I said, again, this would have to be a 1, 2 here. And then this would be then the 3 and then the 4 is a triangle here. But if this is 1, 2, then this has to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in that case, wave 3 here is shorter than wave 1 and shorter than wave 5, and wave 3 can't be the shortest. So yeah. Really a lot of Elliott wave, guys, is definitely remembering the rules and the guidelines. And then understanding there's a difference between them. A lot of times people who are new to Elliott wave and, they come to me with a question or an idea or something. they confuse guidelines and rules. So yeah, I don't think this. I mean, I can see where it looks like it, might be working on that there. But again, trying to get that as a fourth wave doesn't seem to make to work here. Again, being 1, 2, and then just that 3 becomes too short if that would be the 3. Yeah. Andy says, I'm hoping for what's going on. Andy says, I'm hoping for a 1, 2, 1, 2 though, and we're going up for a third. Yeah. I mean, really looking at this, again, looking at the county, it's possible to get a 1, 2, 1, 2 coming off that, and now we're heading up, which I think would end up sending us a nice strong move up here on that breakout coming out of that through this area here. So a nice strong move up. If it's, that 1, 2, 1, 2 kind of thing going on there. So yeah, like a 1, 2, 1, 2. Because it's just the thing of it is that pulling back and just you're pulling back and bringing all that energy, getting ready to just let it go so it flies up. So we're doing that. Hey there, Mark. Good to see you checking in, man. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at here right now, guys. I want to see that breakout of this, this kind of diamond pattern resistance here, but really want to see that impulsive breakout above that 1 and 4 hour pivot to really start feeling like, okay, wave parentheses 2 here is just a real deep pullback here, and we're heading up. Like I said, if we do break out above here, this gives us a 1, maybe a flat as a 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and so wave 5, 1, 2, and then you get 5 up here is right around 50,400 minimum. But again, larger. We look at the idea of the 1, 2 here, and 3 up here at around 55,300 minimum. So, we'll keep working with that step by step here. I think a lot of people are really scared because we've had, these pullbacks right to this area here. You've got all these, you got this. You got these 4 touches pretty close to that swing low. People want to be pessimistic and everything, and I think they're really worried about that. So I don't think people are going to be jumping in until we see some good breakout up here. So like I told Discord, this may have been enough for a pullback here to really kind of freak people out enough where they're just kind of sitting on the sidelines and not doing anything so price can kind of rally itself up. Then they'll jump in on the breakouts. Hey, some risk. What's up, man? Good to see you checking in there. Brian, what's up, buddy? So yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at the moment here. Like I said, we had all this volume come in right here at the top, so we need to see follow through above it to add confidence to that demand and control idea. If we continue to rally on, if we continue to drop on back down here, we're getting follow through to the downside after heavy volume coming in at the top, and that's not a good sign. But like I said, in that case, if we do get that breakdown, we'll look for that S1 pivot here on the 1 and 4 hour, 44,600 or so. It's kind of our initial target right there on that. So that's what I'm kind of looking at with Bitcoin right there. If we jump in here to the, let me see here. We jump into the DXY. That chart we've got is still great here. We've still got this possible triangle going on. And so A, B, C, D, or maybe nearing D, and then E still to go. Let me see my other chart here. There we go. So, we had to expand the triangle a bit here because we had this further drop down, but it stayed above wave A. So it's possible, again, this is C here, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as A, and we'll get an ABC for B, and then 5 more up for D. And then we'll have 3 back down here, probably down toward this area for E, and then we'll finish and head up. Now, what's interesting about this is I told you that most of the time, the DXY and the Euro are pretty much mirror images, right? Let me see. I also had, let me see, did I have it written on here? Oh, what happened to it? I had, it seems to have disappeared. I had the actual triangle here in the RSI as well. Did I get rid of that? All right, let me get a previous DXY chart up here for you guys real quick. I should have it on there. Let's look at the previous one here. I guess that must be it, huh? See, this was the previous count where we're, looking at it potentially being here, and it went up further. I guess I don't have it. I thought I had it still in there. Anyway, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. We still got that going in right here as it is. But the idea being that you can kind of see this this count, with what we were looking at here in the RSI with the potential diamond here. Let me kind of catch up with you guys here real quick. Taylor says, seemed odd yesterday. DXY was going up along with the Dow Jones, SPX, most of the market in general, it seemed. Yeah, again, you remember, guys, often it's not a, the DXY moves this way and everything else moves the other way. Sometimes it happens, especially if there's a more significant thing happening. But sometimes you're going to get them moving in the same direction for some time. And so in this case, why it's happening is because the DXY is just going sideways, guys. Remember, this is the DXY right here. We're just going sideways. So, if the other market is trending up, then, this could be heading up here in D as the other market trends up as well. But ultimately, the DXY is just moving sideways here versus, moving impulsively or this way. See how we're moving up here? Here we're just kind of going sideways overall. So, that would explain why that's going on there. But remember, it's not because it's not like, oh, somebody takes $50 out of stocks and puts it into the dollar, right? I mean, holds dollars. That isn't what we're looking at. Remember, it's all about, ultimately the markets are about risk on and risk off, guys. And so one of the indicators of risk off is that the dollar will rise, right? Because it's a safe haven, right? So if it's a risk-off environment, if people are not putting their dollars into other things, then they're in dollars, right? If they're not putting them into stocks, then it's dollars. If it's a risk-on environment, that means they're taking on risk. That means they're getting rid of their dollars and trading them for stocks or crypto or something. So, in general, but it's not a one-for-one type thing or whatever. So remember, what you're seeing with the dollar, sometimes you're going to get things moving in the same direction at the same time. But what you're more interested in is that overall bigger picture and what's going on there. And even with the much bigger daily picture, really overall, we've just got this huge multi-year sideways thing that the dollar's doing right now. So there's that. Does this range seem like accumulation, and does that long wick seem like a up thrust alluding to potential downtrend? You'll have to tell me which chart you're looking at there, Blaze. Would be nice if I could share my opinion on XRP on the larger time frame. Yeah, remind me here in about 15 minutes or so. Remind me about if I don't remember to do it. Yeah, I'll take a look at it, sure. What is happening? What's up, man? Good to see you checking in. Yes, these are all 1 hour now, Mark. Tuesdays and Fridays there. Yeah. Hey, thank you. What is happening? I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Let's see here. Ali says a little divergence between the Euro and DXY structure yesterday and today. Yeah, so that's what I was going to talk about real quick here. If we pull up this Euro chart, you can see that we actually broke out higher. So that invalidated that triangle that was there, right? And so whereas, it had the same kind of triangle thing, but see how we didn't break down here below wave A? The Euro did break out above wave A. So just a little bit there. So that becomes that AB, and then potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a leading or as a ending diagonal. And then we've got this 1, 2, 3. I thought maybe this might be 4, but we've got ABC up, and it looks like maybe an ABC down. So it looks like 4 did a flat correction here. And so now that's going to give us a wave 5 target right around 1.12533 with that Euro there. Expected wave 5 target. So I think we got an A and a B and then a C as a flat correction here, like an expanded flat for wave 4. And then coming back down here for wave 5 now, down into this demand structure. But ultimately, wave circle 5 should be coming down here, right around at least to 1.10639. So, getting nearer and nearer to parity, right, with the dollar, the euro. So that's what I'm kind of watching with that there. You can see right here, we've got a lot of volume coming on here on this big candle here, and then we're getting follow through to the downsides. This is what I was talking about on Bitcoin. You got this volume up here at the top. You don't want to see this continuing down and following through. You want to see it breaking on out there to kind of confirm that demand, to confirm that bullishness and demand. The euro, though, appears to be losing its battle here and heading on down after that volume there at the top. So you just had a lot of supply hit in right around this S1 pivot area. You see we just wicked up and can't close back down below. Wicked up, closed back down lower. We're getting lower highs and trying to get these lower lows locally heading down. So, yeah. Let me catch up with you guys here again. But again, as I said, usually the euro and the DXY are going to be just about the same. But there are these where they kind of change just a bit. But that's, again, because the DXY itself, it's not just made up of the euro. It's also made up of the value of the dollar against, the Great British Pound, the Canadian dollar, the Aussie, the yen, all that stuff. So there is that other part of it. It's just the euro makes up that 58% of that weighted value. So that's why they look pretty similar most of the time. But there'll be little divergences in what's going on, little differences in what's going on as they do. Let me see here. Silly question. If the 10-year yield goes up, commodities ride with it. Oh, man, yields have been something interesting this past year. There are ways that we kind of used to look at it, and then we got questions now. When you say commodities, you talking about commodities, or are you really talking about gold and silver? Are you really talking about precious metals? A lot of times when people say commodities, what they're really just honest, what they're really directly referring to are precious metals. And they're not looking at other commodities like wheat and, cattle and whatnot. But, interest rates up, yields down, yields up, interest rates down, and so if interest rates go down, then precious metals are supposed to go up, right? Because, as interest rates rise, again, when we talk about risk off and risk on, as interest rates rise, that creates a risk off market, right? Because things become more expensive, right? It becomes more expensive to borrow money and to build and expand. And service your debt is the big thing. I think it's what most people miss when we're talking about that. So, yeah, it's been an odd thing here lately, which I think, again, if we look at this whole thing being this big, huge move up as this final wave, as I've been talking about for the market, we've got maybe this depression coming in or something. It makes sense, that things are getting kind of wonky. They're not doing the way that we're used to them seeing. I remember I've talked to you guys before about the idea that, that this relationship that the Fed was looking at between unemployment and interest rates, right? That's been shown to not be consistent anymore over the last few years. So, there's just a lot of kind of wonky stuff going on now. What is that? Is that Poke? What's going on? Good to have you here. Hopefully you'll come back. Let me see here. Are you looking at oil, wheat, and corn there, Daniel? Yeah, again, oil is usually the big, when it comes to commodities, oil is usually that big, that canary in the coal mine thing. It's kind of the kind of early alarm system that maybe things are turning, right? So if oil pulls back, if oil reverses and comes down, then that's usually this indication that the economy isn't doing so great, and so we should expect the other markets and everything to kind of come down. We're already hearing thousands and thousands and thousands of flights here in the U.S. alone uh, being canceled and whatnot because of Omicron and not having enough staff and all this other stuff. And so if you don't have most of that oil stuff, guys, a lot of that comes from airlines and cruise ships. And now you've got the CDC say, Fauci and them over the CDC saying, hey, you know what? You shouldn't be going on cruises because we just had that thing where one of the cruise ships, everybody was getting COVID, right? And so if the cruise ships and the airlines are getting hit by all this and they're not getting able to keep getting all the flights and all the cruises going, that's going to decrease your demand for oil. So it would be hard to everything else aside, just thinking fundamentally like that, it would be hard to see oil prices continue to rise if there's a drop in demand for it, a significant drop like that in demand. So yeah. Poke, you got to tell me what chart you're talking about, bub. I'm not sure which chart you're referring to. Okay, Mark. Good to know. Let me see here. I gotta try and keep up with you guys, man. Let me see here. Blaze, what was your question? Let me see. It was range seemed like accumulation on this chart. Oh, right here. Are you talking about, or are you talking about this big range over here? You're saying on the 4 hour? Kind of pull the 4 hour here. Does the long wick seem like a UTAD? That's not this chart, is it? Because there's no long wick here. Man, just trying to keep up with you. I'm kind of messing up here. Trying to keep up with you guys. Let me see. Are you talking about the daily? No. See, when you look at this right here, as far as Euro USD goes, you've got this move up. You got this spike of volume on this rally into the top here. All that big volume at the top. And then immediately you get this big bearish engulfing candle that engulfs the previous two candles there on the next one down. And so, it looked kind of positive maybe going up there, but then we had that, which makes you real, cautious. You have all these wicks heading up here into the daily pivot. It's not good. It's not good. And then you kind of get this pullback on the low here, and you get some volume come up again. It's getting stopped here. So it looks like, we may end up having this up thrust and this up thrust after distribution maybe here. And this may be actually a redistribution range, which actually would kind of, not kind of, it would have confluence with the idea that we're heading down lower here, with the Elliott wave count. But I don't like seeing all that volume coming in at the tops here, especially this, this far into the range. The range has been running here since the 24th of November. It's the 4th of January right now. So you got what, 4.5, 5.5, 6 weeks, a month and a half now of sideways. And you've still got spikes of volume coming here at the top. And, right here coming down. And then you've got even more volume coming in here. So you got a little bit of some demand showing up here at the S1 pivot. Makes sense, right? You got more volume than the previous days and much smaller candle spread here. But, we are below the daily pivot. And so we want to watch this and see if we get continuation further down as this day ends, or, does it rally back up through there? We got to kind of see what goes on. We're still just going sideways here. Let's see here. Hey, Oscar, what's up, mate? Says, I was looking at some charts through last week. Can you think of an asset that did an all-time high, then another all-time high run on lower volume, like Bitcoin USDT did last year? Let's see here. Let's see what you're talking about. Are you talking about this? Oh, yeah. That happens all the time. Yeah, I mean, it all depends on how you read all this. Again, right now we're still going off the idea that this is 3, and then you had A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here's C. So you had a flat correction for 4, and now we're working up on 5. So, in that case, as you got toward the top here, volume dropping off, 5th wave of 3, pulls back there for wave 4, and then so your volume's going to start low again on that first wave of 5 heading up. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing special really. happens most often. Because as usually your third wave is where you have most of the activity, you have most of the volume. And so, it's like volume comes up for wave 1, pulls back for wave 2, rallies much higher for wave 3, comes back for wave 4, and then makes a lower high there for wave 5. And so you get that volume divergence. Yeah. Let me see here. And then Polk was talking about on the 1-day chart, head and shoulders here on Bitcoin. Let me see what head and shoulders you're talking about. Oh, you think maybe, let me think here. You think maybe like this is the left shoulder and this is a head, and then we'll have a right shoulder and down? I mean, it's possible. I don't think that's what we're doing at this time, but I can see why you would think that, right? Again, I think you're looking at this. Am I correct? Let me know if I'm looking at something different than what you're looking at there, Poke. But I think you're talking about maybe like a left shoulder here, head right here, then we get a right shoulder and then down. I mean, yeah, until we break out above this swing high up here, sure, it's possible. For now, I don't think that's what's going on. But we'll have to see how this continues to develop here as we do. I still think Bitcoin still got higher to go. All last year we were talking about the possibility of the normal cycle, ending there in December. But as we were getting a few months nearer to that, I said, well, you know what? If it doesn't happen there, maybe we could see this extend into the end of Q2, maybe the beginning of Q3 next year, so into summer. And then maybe we get a top there. And so that's what I'm kind of looking at the moment here. There's nothing on the chart right here that makes me say, okay, we need to be really, really concerned about it going down just yet. Right now, it's just pullbacks and whatnot. So we just want to say, right now, if I'm looking at this daily, everything else aside, I want to see an impulsive breakout above the daily pivot and this swing high above it. If we can pop out above that, it makes me feel a lot more positive about that bottom there and, heading up to new all-time highs. Doesn't guarantee it, but right now we're sitting, on this support right here. And we really need to get above this this resistance right in this area right here. We need to get a nice impulsive breakout above that. We can do that. Feel really pretty good about that bottom being in there and heading up to a new all-time high still. Yeah. So yeah. Like I said, still possible, but way too early to start thinking, oh my God, it's a head and shoulders. Because, again, we're looking at the daily, we're looking at tens of thousands of dollars of range. So, way too early to kind of say, yeah. I think you start looking at that if you get a pull down toward these lows down here, and then you get another rally back up toward this kind of, 60,000 area, and then it starts pulling back down again. So down, up, and then down again. And then I think you can start looking at it as it comes down there. Right now, I think way too early. Yeah. Hope that makes sense. Let me see here. Blaze. Okay, DXY. Let me see here. Let me get it back here. You were talking about the 4-hour on the DXY. Let me see here. Where are we at? 4-hour on the DXY. You were talking about this wick up here. Let me see. Your question is, does this range seem like accumulation? Does that long wick seem like an upthrust here? I think that's what you're talking about, right? Yeah, no, I don't think, I do think maybe this could be. Let me kind of jump over here to the futures chart because it has the volume on it. See the volume on it? So let me zoom into the shorter time frame on that. Because you really can't, I know, guys, you're going to see people online that are going to say, oh, yeah, look, they're going to go like this, and they're going to have no volume. They're going to, oh, look, it's accumulation or whatever. Guys, I'm going to tell you what right now. You cannot tell with any great certainty on price action alone if there's accumulation. Because it's not just price action. Your accumulation, your distribution are going to look, the ranges are going to look a lot alike. Sometimes they're going to look exactly alike. You have to have volume. You have to understand where that volume is coming in relation to that range. Okay? So don't, if somebody's just drawing you pictures and, of price action saying, oh, look, accumulation or distribution, take it with a grain of salt. That you can't possibly know with just your, just that simple price action, because it depends on that price action with that volume. These are the things that we teach, that I teach over there in Texas West Capital all the time. But going in here, I mean, so we got the range here. You get the volume coming in at the top there. You had it coming at the bottom. That's good. You had it right here on this rally up here. You had volume. Volume again up there at the top. And then, came back down and picked it up right here as well. And then you see volume on this one right here. And again, more volume at the bottom. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a good case to be made for this potentially being accumulation here. Which would, again, would go hand in hand with the idea that it's building this triangle we're going to break out. Is this even a triangle, though? This might not even be in a triangle, guys. I've been looking at this. How does this go? I was thinking, okay, maybe we've got an A, ABC down here. And so maybe this is 3 and this is 4. And then maybe, this would be 1. And then ABC, ABC. So A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so kind of like what we're looking at with Bitcoin right here. Let me zoom in there a bit. So what we're kind of looking at right here potentially is a 1, A, B, and then flat with just a real strong pullback almost to the invalidation level. I think that it's possible on here that we could be looking at that here as well. Let me get back over here. That we're doing this here as well. So again, 3, 4, and then 1, A, B, 3, 4, 5 is C, is a flat correction. So 1, 2, and we're working on 3 here now. And so how are we going to know that? We're going to know that if it breaks out above this swing high right here, this 96.895. If we break out above that, then this is probably 1, 2 is a flat correction, and we're heading up there. Otherwise, we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, and then we'll have C up to finish wave D, and then we'll have 3 down for wave E, and then we'll have our thrust out, the triangle. So yeah. Let me go ahead and get this person out of here. All right. So yeah, I mean, so there's that possibility there as well. I'm not just holding through that this definitely has to be a triangle, especially with the euro, as we were talking about having that breakout there, right? So it's got A, B, C here, and we're potentially heading in wave 5 now, right? So it would make sense that maybe we're not getting a triangle out of what we've got going on here with that. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Hopefully it makes sense. And the reason why I discuss these specific charts, guys, is because it's to help you get a better understanding of the overall market. Any Yahoo can get on here and just find out what the flavor of the day is in terms of trades and give you those charts. And then they'll just give you the same charts everybody else gives you. I'm trying, what I try and do is help you guys actually understand what's going on with the markets, how they all interact, but not because they interact with each other, but the participants behind the scenes, how they're moving their money around based on how they're feeling about the economy. That's what it's all about, guys. Bitcoin doesn't move some way because the stocks move some way. They both move based on risk on or risk off environments, and then to the degree in which their bullishness, their particular market's bullishness or bearishness is playing out. Let's look at XRP here real quick. Yeah, I bet you nobody else told you guys that, did they? I don't think most people know that. Most of these big accounts you guys follow online, that becomes a much bigger issue, right? What's going on here with XRP here? Let's see here. So here's XRP. No, not that I know of, Blaze. A risk off, risk on meter. I can't think of anything right off the top of my head that's out there, like the fear and greed thing. Not that I can think of. Somebody just had $1 million idea. Look at that. Anyway, so I'm looking at this right here. Longer term, I'm looking for wave 5 on XRP to get up here in that $3 range, at least. And so that's what I'm kind of looking at as it sits right there. If we're breaking out above this all-time high over here from back in January of 18, then I'm looking for potentially a target up here to around 6.645. So, this could end up being a much, subdividing waves and whatever, a longer stretch up here to continue up there for XRP. So, yeah. But that's kind of where we are in that bigger picture as far as XRP goes. Again, guys, I warned y'all, when everybody was freaking out about what was going on with the XRP and, the SEC, Ripple and the SEC and all that. And then all the exchanges kind of started getting rid of XRP trading, right? And I said, you know what? I said, I can see why the exchanges are doing it, trying to protect their rear end legally. But I said, the likeliest thing to happen, remember, guys, I told you at the time, likeliest thing to happen was there's probably going to be some kind of settlement reached. And Ripple was going to get fined, if that. But they wouldn't actually put them out of business because people have so much money in it that if they put out of business, they would lose all that money. And so the SEC would effectively be harming a lot of people. And the SEC isn't interested in doing that. So I think, that might be what's going on with that. And I told you, when that happens, I said those that can still buy our XRP there at the lows are likely going to make a lot of money and see it rally back over $1. And, of course, that's what we've had already, right? So, everybody else just sentiment, their personal feelings about XRP and whatever. But if I had listened to that nonsense, guys, I wouldn't have made what I did with XRP back in, 2017, right? So you can't deal with that nonsense. You gotta trade according to what's going on and not worry about your personal feelings toward it, if that's the case. And in other words, don't not buy it because you don't like it, and think it's going to go down because you don't like it. Now, there's things I've never bought because I don't like it. I don't like the way they work, the company, the group behind it and everything. And it wasn't because I thought it was going to go down. It's just because I didn't want to be a part of that situation. I didn't like the way that they were working. So I've not bought like that. But I won't buy something because my personal view is that I hate it. And I think it's going to go down because I hate it. But that's what a lot of people are doing in crypto, especially. A lot of brand new amateur traders, right? Yeah. So you got to be careful with that, guys, okay? Let me see here. Let me see here. Oh, man, so we're getting up close to the end here. I wanted to kind of jump out here with the Dow Jones here. I've got it as a triangle for a wave 4, and then wave 5 is in progress. We've broken out above the recent all-time high here, which keeps that wave 5 in progress. Minimum target of 37,628. That's the pattern target here, and potentially a more usual target up here, closer to 39,900 kind of area. But this could end up just being an ending diagonal here and just getting toward that pattern target and pulling back. What we're looking for is a breakdown below wave 4 here. At 34,665 and 50 cents to kind of signal, okay, maybe that top's probably in, and and we're headed down lower now at that point. While we remain above that, we'll continue to look higher on that. So yeah. Let me see here. And then we've got, real quick here, guys. Let me pull up. Where is it here? So let's look at silver here real quick. So talking about precious metals earlier, right? So we've got this as maybe a 1-2 here, and then it's possible, again, this looks like an ABC right here. So I would think that this is wave 4 in progress. If I look at this, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll have 5 down. Maybe there's 5 in this right here. I don't know. Is this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You know, gets kind of iffy right there. Let me see here. So ABC up and then 1. It's possible this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And so this is an A, B, and a C as a wave 2. So, you know, this could be a 1 over here. ABC, get a 2 up here toward this 23, 26, 27 area. Maybe. But we'll have to see. So either this is wave 4 as a leading diagonal, you know, because it's pushed into wave 1 here. Because you're not going to have a flat correction here and a flat correction here. You're usually going to have one and then something different. So this one right here just looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an ending diagonal. ABC, and 3, and then maybe 4, or like I said, 3, 4, and then this is a 5. But that just makes this a 1, maybe an AB, and a C coming up for 2. We'll come back down. As long as it stays below this swing high up here at 23.44, well, you know, we should look for it to head lower there. Now, the big one is I've changed up to my alternate count with gold real quick. Goodbye. Had to get rid of that person. Sorry, guys. Let me see here. So gold, like I said, I've got my my alternate count on here, and this alternate count, let me zoom out here so you guys can see. Look at that. So it's that we're doing this leading diagonal. We've got a 1, 2 is a flat, 3, and we've got this large wave 4 going on here. So A, B, C, D, E is potentially finished, and that gives us a pattern target down here of about 15.86 and 90 cents. But this is a diagonal here, a leading diagonal. And so wave 3 here, see here, is larger than wave 1. So wave 1 is here, which is about 78.6% of wave 3. So smallest wave, wave 1, middle wave should be wave 3 down here, and then wave 5 should be longer. So in that diagonal scenario, it's a descending, broadening wedge, right? So it looks like, you know, maybe like this right here, and then this right here, right? So in that case, the pattern target, it would go below the pattern target. And it must then go at that point larger than wave 3. So you measure out wave 3. And if wave 4 is a triangle and it's ended there, then that means it's got to go below this 15.4790 area. Because that will be the height of wave 3 right there. So it would have to go below that as a broadening wedge, a leading diagonal. But it would be 5 waves down, which just means 3 waves up probably into this area right here, this 1800 area, and then 5 more down at least. That gives us an ABC. If it's 1, 2, 3, though, you know, again, we're looking further. And for now, anyway, I mean, my my target still remains way down here below $1,000. Oh, by the way, here's the triangle I was looking for on the DXY. It was here on gold. But you can see here how the RSI forms the triangle as well, along with price here. Of course, you got a decrease in volume, which is what you expect in a triangle. So we'll see if we can get that follow through down lower there and continue down. And if gold's going down, silver's going down. And if gold's going toward my target, then silver should be going toward my target as well, which is below 10, probably below 8, as we do that. So yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm looking for there. So that's kind of where we're at, guys. Stocks are continuing to push higher. Metals, you know, silver and gold, still looking like they're struggling. They've been going sideways for about a year now. Bitcoin going sideways for the last few months, but again, I still think we've got to finish that out higher. I still think we're probably hitting six figures with that. If that changes, I'll let you guys know, if my thoughts change on that. But right now, I don't see any reason to change that. So yeah, and then of course that would take XRP up with it, at least around the all-time high. And if it's getting up around the all-time high, I don't know, maybe we break out higher and, or it double tops right there. But either way, it looks like XRP's got higher to go as well. Real quick here, before I go, ARK. This is something I had drawn during our Monday Tier 3 Wyckoff session. I took a look at ARK here, and we were back. Let me see here. I think it was right about here. Yeah, it was the last few weeks ago. And I had mentioned that, again, it looks like we've got distribution here. We're coming down. We had the fall through the ice right here. We rallied back up, got rejected, came back down again here, looking for mark down here, and, here we go. So I'm not bullish on ARK at the moment. I think it's got further downside to go before it has a chance to really kind of do anything with it. So, maybe getting down here toward, $75, $80 at least. So, yeah. Is there any way to avoid getting into trades that just turn out to be flat corrections? Well, yeah, alternation would be a hint. Sure, if you've got a flat correction if you've got a flat correction in wave 2, you shouldn't expect a flat correction in wave 4. So that's one thing you can look at. If you don't have a flat correction in wave 2, well, then you might get one in wave 4 or a triangle. Usually it doesn't happen. Alternation doesn't happen every single time, but significantly enough. I think they were studying it. It was something like 81 or 86% of the time, something like that. But yeah. That would be one way to look at it for sure. But yeah, if wave 2 is a simple correction, usually wave 4 is going to be more complex. And if it's more complex, your first two thoughts are flat correction or triangle. It doesn't have to be either. It could just be some WXY or WXYXZ kind of thing going on as well. This is why I usually tell people don't try to trade second and fourth waves, especially fourth waves, because they can be so tricky. There's so many things it can be. A lot of people, they're great. They'll get in and make a lot of money on wave 3, and then they'll lose it all on wave 4, trying to guess where the bottom is, trying to, to do that sort of thing. So yeah. But if you see a flat correction in wave 2, then yeah, I would expect it to be wave 4 to be more simple, just like an ABC. It's not guaranteed it's going to be, but most of the time it should be. Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, listen, it's time for me to get out of here. I really appreciate you guys joining in as always. Just watch those levels that I talked about. Remember, there's a difference in between anticipating and speculating, right? Or gambling and speculating. Gambling is anticipating. It's not waiting for confirmations. Speculation is waiting for confirmations. Okay? Trading is not gambling unless you make it so by just, again, not waiting for those confirmations. Okay? So I hope you guys have an amazing day, an amazing week. I'll be back on Friday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time as always, and we'll take a look and see, hopefully then we've got Bitcoin rallying up real well. That would be nice. And, again, we'll take a look at some stocks and some of your requests and gold and silver and, those kind of things. And just try to get a better understanding of what's going on with the market overall to help you hopefully pick better trades, to have a better framework to pick your trades in, okay? That said, hey, listen, we'd love to have you. If you're not a part of Texas West Capital, man, we'd love to have you. You can join us over at howtotradetowin.com. Join in and then say hi on the channels, man. We got such an amazing group of traders, really friendly, really helpful. And so we'd love to have you be a part of that, all right? As always, remember the only thing you control in the market is how much you lose, okay? That's it. So keep working on that risk management, guys, more than anything else. You guys take care. We'll see you on Friday.